Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on? Come on in, come on in, come on into the room, come on into the room. Tap that screen and come on into the room. Don't sit on the side and watch me. I don't bite. I do not bite, okay? So come on in the room, come on in the room. Show your presence so that I can see the numbers. I see three people that are in the room. Thank you for the three people that are in the room. Six people now. Tap that screen to come in the room. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Tap that screen and come on in the room. I see four people, three people now. Don't be afraid to come on in the room. Only thing I'm giving is knowledge, guys. Thank you. Thank you for tapping that screen. Appreciate you guys. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. It's only positive energy over here. So if you are looking for some positive energy this morning, then come on in the room. Come on in the room. Okay? Because that's all I give is positive energy. Okay? If you're not looking for positive energy, then you have to go elsewhere. You have to exit this room. Okay? So, anyhow, guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about habits that are holding us back because all of us have habits that are holding us back, and one of the biggest habits that are holding us back, and I want you guys to chime in. I want you guys to tap that screen and let me know in the comment section where you are watching from my Facebook platform, and also from my TikTok platform. I want to know where you guys watching from. I'd love to know where my supporters are supporting me from. What city, what state, what country, what region, wherever you are, let me know where you are tapping in from. I am a New York girl. You said you were from Wisconsin. Big up to Wisconsin. Thank you for tapping in, Wisconsin. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where else? Where my people's at? Where are you guys watching from? Where are you tapping in from? Let me know. Let me know. Where are you watching from? Hi. Where are you watching from? None. Where are you watching from? Somebody from Boston, Mass. Boston, Mass in the house. Thank you for tapping in. Who was this? Um, what is I can't see it. Virginia? Okay, tapping in from Virginia. Thank you for joining me. The screen is just going so fast. I can't. Richmond, Virginia. Okay, Richmond, Virginia. Thank you for tapping in from Richmond, Virginia. Where else? Where else are you guys tapping in from? Thank you, user 3356 beginning numbers. Appreciate you. Good morning. Where are you tapping in from? Let me know, Miss D. Miss D, where are you tapping in from? What city, what state, what region? Let's see. Indianapolis. Thank you for tapping in from Indianapolis. Appreciate you guys. Yes. Your girl is from New York. Boston. Yes, Boston in the house. I see you, Boston. Thank you for tapping in today. I appreciate you. For my Facebook platform as well. Let me know where you are tapping in from. Russia. Okay. Moscow, Russia. Wow. Atlanta. Okay, Atlanta. I see you. That's one of the places that I do want to visit is Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta before. Where else? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Where else are we tapping in from? Let me know. My Facebook platform, you can also join me, letting me know where you're tapping in from. What city, what state, what country, what region. I know a lot of my supporters that's on Facebook is from Nigeria. So big up to Nigerians. I love my Nigerians. Okay, they are my biggest supporters. Somebody is checking in from Dominican Republic. Okay, I see you. Dominican Republic. Yes, yes. Thank you for joining me on today. I appreciate it. Wow. So people are tapping in from all walks of the states, the city, the countries. Yes, I appreciate you guys for tapping in with me. Wow. So people are from different places. Chicago. I see Chicago in the house. Thank you for joining me on today. Do we have any New Yorkers? Because I'm a New York girl. Where are my New Yorkers are? Tap in from New York. Let me see where you guys are at. Yes, I'm English. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, so, I wanted to talk about, guys, what are the habits that are holding you back? And I need you guys to chime in. And I know that a lot of you guys have habits that are holding you back. Another person from Georgia, North, what is that? North South Carolina. Okay, I see you. North South Carolina. Nigeria. Yes, my Nigerians. I love my Nigerians. Thank you for joining in. Somebody from Puerto Rico. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. I love all of my people. All of my people. Let me see. Somebody else is tapping in from, what is that? City Island. Okay, that's a New Yorker. I love City Islands. I don't eat the seafood or nothing there no more, but I love the view. I love going out there and just sitting down and just enjoying because I love water. One of my favorite trips to go on is a cruise, and I love the Carnival cruise. If you guys ever went on a Carnival cruise, how do you like it? I mean, I've been on other cruises, but I love the Carnival cruise because the Carnival cruise, they know how to turn up. Yes, I love cruises. So let's get back to the topic on hand. And I thank each and every last one of you guys for tapping in and letting me know where you're watching from. I really, really, really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Okay. South Carolina. I see you, South Carolina. Thank you, Missouri. I see someone tapping in from Missouri. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so, so, so very much. So, one of the things that hold us back from success, guys, is our thinking, the crown. Everything starts with the crown, right? Everything starts with the crown, right? And negative talk is one of them. If you have negative talk, that is holding you back. That means that you don't believe in yourself. If nobody else believes in you, you have to believe in yourself. Negative talk is the number one thing that holds you back. And I know a lot of people come from backgrounds, their ancestors where they didn't have much, right? And when you talk this negative talk about, you wouldn't be able to get this, or one of the things that I never did when I was, raising my kids is I would never say that I didn't have and I couldn't afford, right? Because when you say those words, you already shut your brain down to even try to even imagine working out things that you could possibly get if you say you don't have and you can't afford. I never say that. I never said that to my kids. Whenever my kids came to me, if they came to me with a trip slip, event that they was going on in school, and they say, "Hey, mommy, I'm going on this. I need this amount of money, this." I would automatically tell them I will see what I can do or I'll work it out. I never told my kids that I do not have it. Never. Or I can't afford it. And this was one of the first books that I have read was Rich Dad Poor Dad. And when I read that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, that really enlightened me. If you guys are interested in that book, uh drop a comment and I will send you the link to um getting that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And it was about two different dads that had the different perspective on money, right? One of them worked as a CEO, you know, on a job, right? And he was secure within that job. See, a job, it has its limits, right? You can't limit yourself. You can't limit yourself, right? The one of the dads had a 9 to 5. He was a CEO of a company, and he was only able to obtain a certain amount of hours and work, right? So he was limited of how much money he made and worked. While the other dad was he created his own He created his own way of making money. You know, he was an entrepreneur, right? And so he wasn't limited. When you're an entrepreneur and you own your own business, you have people working for you. So there's no limits. There's no amount of hours that you have to stop working. You can work all day if you want. You can send people out working all day if you want, right? So that was the difference. And the book is called Rich Dad Poor Dad. So don't never limit yourself. Thank you for sharing. Don't never limit yourself. You understand what I'm saying? When you're working, when the whole American dream, right? And they spoke about the American dream. What is the American dream? The American dream. The American dream, right, is supposed to be you go to school, right? You go to college and be left with all this debt because college does leave debt. You get a degree, you go out there and you get a job of your dreams with this degree, right? And sometimes people think that when you make more money, you are successful, right? Being successful does not mean you making more money, especially on a 9 to 5, right? The more money you make when you're working in a corporate uh, uh, job, the more taxes they're going to take off for you. Like, and that's just what it is, right? But when you are working and you owning your own business, you are taxed after you budget everything. And how I know this is because my husband owns his own business, right? He was working as a exterminator at a company in New York before he got his own business, right? And he was working for New York City Housing as an exterminator. And I seen the way they taxed him before he got his money, even when he did overtime. He did overtime, and it just seems like the more he made, the more taxes they take, right? But when he got his own exterminating business, right? You get taxed after all of your expenses. You don't pay taxes during the year, right? When you own your own business, you don't pay taxes during the year, right? Like how every time you get paid, taxes is taken out of your paycheck. When you own your own business, you are taxed after the facts. So you have the opportunity to claim everything that's legal on your taxes when you own your own business. That storage that you keep your chemicals in, right? Your car that you drive to and from work, right? It's tax is it you could put that on your taxes. What else? If you have to buy chemicals, anything, and that's why it's better to get a business credit card. That way everything is in one thing. You don't want to mix your everyday household expenses with your with your business expenses. You want to make sure that that's separate, right? So whenever you go to do your taxes, you have a business account, right? You have a business account of all of the expenses that you have paid for, right? If you make $100,000 for that year, right? You make $100,000 for that year. What you do is you write down all of your expenses of everything that you paid for. Everything that you paid for, from your uh, chemicals to your storage. If you had any business trips that you went on, you can claim that. If you had to buy uniforms for you and your workers, you put that on your taxes. And by the end of the year, when you have to pay your taxes, and I'm telling you this because I know, because my husband, I saw the difference of the amount of taxes. Even though he made triple, quadruple the money that he made when he was working for the city with his own business, he paid less taxes. It's because when you own your own business, you're taxed after your expenses, right? When you're working from a corporate job, you're taxed before. You understand what I'm saying? On every $100 you are taxed. One time I think I might have not punched in or punched out or whatever in at work, right? And so they had to pay me for that day once they found out that there was a glitch in the system. And it was probably a couple $100 or whatever, or even if it was $100, I think I still was taxed for that one day. So when people think that the American dream is about going to school, going to college, getting a degree, buying that house with the picket fence, right? That they probably can't afford, that they financed, right? That they got a mortgage out on. That's not the American dream. It's not. Because when you think about it, guys, you want to think this way. You want to make sure that you're not creating more liabilities than you are creating assets. And a lot of you guys don't know about assets and liability. That house that you just took a mortgage out on, a lot of people think that that's assets. And it could be if you sell it, right? But it first have to be yours to sell, right? Remember that. It has to be yours to sell. That means that it has to be paid off in order for you to put it on the market to sell, right? You don't own that house, right? You don't own that house unless you purchase the land. Because a lot of people they get houses. Thank you for sharing. A lot of people get houses, they buy houses, right? And they say, I'm the owner of the house. You're not the owner of that house. You don't own that house. You don't. Because at any given time, if you don't own the land that house is on, you don't own it. Because if you don't pay the taxes on that land, you can't take your house and just move it. That house is gone, right? So people have to educate themselves about what's liability and what's assets. You understand what I'm saying? You have to educate yourself on that and educate your children on that. A lot of people get mad about the rich not having to pay so much taxes, right? People get, listen, I don't get mad. I learn from them. I sit among people in these seminars where there are multimillionaires, right? And I listen. The best way for you to learn something is by listening. Sit among people that have more than you. Sit amongst people that have more knowledge than you, and don't be afraid to learn, because a closed mind will never receive knowledge, just like a closed mouth would never be fed. And before I had got into this financial seminar, I used to be intimidated because they had CEOs in there, they had big corporate people that was in there, they had people that that was higher up, and I'm nowhere next to where these people are. But that doesn't mean that I can't sit in a room with them and learn. You can't be intimidated because somebody know more than you. Because remember that they were once where you are now. So you can't be intimidated about someone having more knowledge than you, someone being more educated than you, someone having more than you. Because when you're intimidated by these people, that's where that's where you can't learn and you can't grow. Be able to sit in a room with someone that knows more than you so that you can also educate yourself and learn. And don't feel intimidated by it. Just sit there. Take what you can take from it, write notes, and you'll be one day where they are, because they was where you are at one time. Everybody that's willing to learn is going to learn. Everyone that's willing to grow is going to grow. And don't let nobody take that away from you. Don't let no one take that away from you. I don't care how much money they have. I don't care what type of house they have. I don't care where they live at in any state, country, or city. Don't never let someone make you feel like you're smaller than them, because you're not. You might not have the education that they have. You may not have the money that they have. You may not have the things in life that they have, but you're just as valuable as they are. And I need you guys to understand and know that. You are just as valuable as they are. And you can bring something to the table that maybe they can't bring to the table, because everyone have their own talents. Everyone have their own gifts, right? And when you share your gifts and your talent to people, they'll be surprised. Wow, she know that? Wow, he know that? You understand what I'm saying? Never feel small because someone has more than you in education and in business. Because that's how you learn, when you sit among the people that have more than you. I am never intimidated about nothing. I will go and sit in a room with somebody, and the best way for you to learn is for you to listen. Don't be too eager to talk. Now, I'm not saying that you don't ask questions, but the best thing for you to do and how you learn is to listen. Have an open ear and an open mind, right? And always take notes. Sit among people that are going to be able to teach you something, that are going to be able to maneuver and show you something. Because remember, as I said, they were there where you are. They were right there where you are. And those was the ones too that sat in someone else's seminars or someone else's meeting, right? And they learned, and now they're able to bring it to the table to you. And you can do the same thing if you allow yourself to not be intimidated by someone else's power or what they have. Because when you are intimidated by people that have more than you, that's where they win. See, we as black and brown community, we're not supposed to know certain things, right? We're not supposed to know about money because they don't teach it in the education department. They don't teach it in school. And there's a reason for that. Because we're not supposed to have what they have. And you guys know I can't say certain things because they'll restrict me, right? But you know what I'm talking about when I say they. We're not supposed to have what they have. We're not supposed to have credit. We're not supposed to have bank accounts. We're not supposed to know about investments. We're not supposed to know about none of that. We are supposed to just be right where we are. Go to school, not even go to college. Go to school, get a job, and work for the rest of your life. That's all we're supposed to know. But that's not who we are. And just because your parents or your parents' parents never got educated on certain things doesn't mean that you can't. You understand what I'm saying? I want the best for everybody, and we as black and brown community need to learn that we have to not be intimidated and sit among the people that don't want us to have. That is telling us that, hey, you ain't supposed to be here. And you ask them why. What makes you better than I am? That I can't sit and be educated like you're being educated or you was educated at once. Y'all got to be bold enough to ask those questions, and y'all got to be bold enough to be able to go in there and sit in there and get educated, because no one is better than you. No one is better than you. And you have to realize that, and you have to have an open mind to it. We hold ourselves back. And I'm going to tell you the 10 habits of the reason why we as Black and brown community is not successful. And then I got to get out of here. Number one reason is negative talk, right? Negative talk. The second one would be a lack of planning. We don't plan. When you don't plan, you plan to fail. You got me? When you do not plan, you plan to fail. Okay? Another that would be a lack of discipline. We are not disciplined. You have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined with yourself, and you have to be disciplined with your money. Okay? Another thing would be a fear of failure. We all are afraid to fail. And in life, in order for you to grow, you have to fail. That's what makes you stronger. That's what makes you wiser. That's what allows you to grow by failing. The moment that we fail, we want to throw in the towel. That's not the way life works. That is leading you from not being successful. Another thing would be comparing yourself to others. Stop comparing yourself to others. You are who you are. You grow as you grow, and you learn as you learn. Another one would be poor time management. Everybody always saying, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. But everybody have 24 hours in a day. If they can do it, then we can do it. You understand what I'm saying? Time management. And that's one of the things that we don't have is time management. We will do every other thing with our time while we're scrolling through social media, doing something, that's unproductive. They'll be reading an educated book. They'll be uh, uh, joining seminars. You understand what I'm saying? It's about poor management. We don't have that. Another one would be seeking approval from people. Stop seeking approval from people, right? And one would be resistance to change. We don't want to change. And you can't be successful if you don't want to change. Self-doubt is another one. Doubting yourself, saying that I can't do this. This is too hard when you never even try. You understand what I'm saying? And the last one, but not least, which is the first one, is your mindset. If you change your mindset, you'll change your life. And again, I want to thank you guys for joining me on today from all walks of the world. I appreciate you. Make sure the only thing that you can do for me is share this to your family and your friends because knowledge is power, but only if you use it. Peace.